So I was visiting a customer recently in Florida, and I made my way into the building, up the elevator, exited the elevator, walking down the hall, and I was walking down the hall, and there we go, and I see this poster on the wall as I'm approaching the IT department. And as I turn around the corner, the poster comes into view. In all caps, on the poster, I'm going to meet with the Wi-Fi and the network guys back there, and on the poster, in all caps, in Comic Sans font, probably to increase the obnoxious factor, says, "It's not the network." So I go around the corner and I meet my guys. It's like, "How you doing?" It's like, "Hey, what's with the poster? It's not the network." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, it's kind of a joke around here." I'm like, "Well, then what is it?" And he says, "It's the devices. They suck." So what I want to ask really quickly here is, how many people in this room feel similarly? It's not the network, it's the devices. They suck. Anybody with a show of hands? Okay, we got a bunch of people in the room who are saying that. Well, now let's go back and talk about the history of 7Signal. So as you guys are aware, 7Signal has been around over 10 years now, started in Helsinki, Finland, and we created this device called the Sapphire Eye. And we called it a high-performance client because we would put it in your environment and it would tell you everything that's going on from the client's point of view. People loved it. They said, "Hey, that's great, but you know what, Eric?" And they didn't actually tell it to me specifically, but they said, "That's great, we love what it's doing, but I want to know about my client. What about this client? Can you tell me what this is doing?" And that was the genesis for our new product, Mobileye, which I'm showing you guys today. Okay? So with Mobileye, what we're doing is we're actually pushing our software, once again, all the way to the edge of the network, where the Wi-Fi rubber meets the road. And we want to know what is going on that device, in that area, to that access point, in the air. Let me just give you a tour of how it works. So when we come into the dashboard here, I can see that from a Wi-Fi perspective, there are two clients that are having issues. So what I do is I just click on more and I can see the network. This is 7Signal Corporation right here. Now, when I see there's some red on the timeline here, the next couple questions I have are very simple. Where is this problem? What is this problem? Who's having this problem? Ladies and gentlemen, voila. So basically, right here, I can see that the problem is at headquarters. Eddie's client is having a problem. What is the problem? Through all of our analytics, we've been able to classify it as a roaming problem. Now, what do we mean by a roaming problem? I'm going to click on that right there and show you. I can see that Eddie is attached to this main conference room access point. He's at a -72, kind of right on the edge. He has a better access point basically right over his head at -50. If he were to complain about the Wi-Fi network with this information, I would say, "Eddie, it's not the network, it's your device." But I wouldn't say it sucked. And so there you have it right there. Now let's go back a little bit here and let's take a look at this guy. This is Marco. Marco, one of the co-founders of 7Signal from Helsinki, and he's having a congestion problem. What do we mean by that? Well, I can see he's got a great signal, and look at this. He's connected at a 405 megabit per second data rate. He's on a bonded channel, as you can see right here. Look at the channel utilization, 73%. Okay, there's obviously something going on in the air, so we've snatched that information out of the beacon in the air in order to give a clear picture as to what is actually going on and what is going wrong. Let me show you another couple of things. Some people may say, "You know what, just tell me what's going on all at headquarters." Well, here you have it. I've got every single client device, and I've got all the problems that they're having. Somebody else might come along and say, "You know what, just give me an inventory of every single device that I have on my network. I want to see how the different combinations of adapters and drivers are all interacting on my network." And so here you have it, and you can see, like for instance, look right here. If you've got this version of the driver, you're getting a third of the throughput power as if you were on the nice or the most up-to-date driver. And somebody might come along and say, "You know what, just give me a list of all of the clients on my network who are slow like dogs." And here you go. And now I can start working on these guys right here. Another person might come along and they might say, "You know what, just give me a wanted list of all of the crummy adapter driver combinations on my network and give me a list of who has that combination so that I can go and help them proactively." And there you have it. So as a final thing that I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to show you my device. So this is my device, Camuli, as you can see. And this has been my Wi-Fi experience as I'm tracking and trending all of this detail for the last 7 days. And you can see I'm tracking every single access point that I've been on. Here's my roaming behavior as I've roamed from AP to AP. You can see I'm tracking my signal strength, my data rate, every access point that I've been on, every channel that I've been on. I can even look at my throughput. I can see all of my throughput metrics, so I can actually see when and where and why I've had a slow, terrible, horrible Wi-Fi experience. Now, you might be asking as a final thing, well, are you testing it right now? And the answer is yes. Let me click 1 hour right here, and we'll actually be able to see my Wi-Fi experience here at Wi-Fi Trek. Any bets? No, this is for effect. It's okay. Oh, hit OK, sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. Boom. Okay, and there you have it. All right, so as you can see, as of just a few minutes ago, because this thing has taken a throughput test every couple of minutes, just a little quick 5-second test, how many megabits can I pass in those 5 seconds? Okay, I'm getting really good throughput. Look at that, 43 megabits per second, 18 megabits per second. All right, and as you can see here, this is my roaming history, every access point that I've been on. Here's the network that I'm on, okay? And at this time, I'll take questions. You might be asking or wondering, how the heck is this thing installed? All that stuff. Let me have it.
All right, so let's go ahead and tackle some questions here. Very first one. What turned me off to 7Signal a few years ago is how difficult and kludgy the product was to install and deploy. How has this improved, and how?
Well, I hope that you're seeing that this is a heck of a lot easier to use, okay? It's just, we're crowdsourcing Wi-Fi from all of these devices. We've just put this into this new UI that you're seeing right here, right now. Now, the next step in terms of UIs, and this is all Mobileye, what we're seeing right here, but the next step is we're going to start with the 7Signal alarms, which realistically is the most powerful part of the Sapphire platform. Tell me when an AP is down. Tell me when throughput is in the tank. Tell me when there's interference. And we're going to take those alarms and we're just going to plug them right into this user interface so that you can see in very simple fashion, just like you're seeing here, what type of problem I have, where I'm having it, who's having it, and why.
Cool. So Niantic Voyance uses a server on a span port to process its data. How does Mobileye get its data?
Sure. So Mobileye is doing 3 things. So it's like a little app service on this computer right here. So it's an MSI or a PKG. You can just do a scripted install and get it out to 10,000 computers overnight if you want to. 3 things. One is that every few minutes we're gathering up the device information from the computer, from the operating system. We can see, make, model, operating system. We're actually tracking all of the changes to the operating system. We're tracking changes to your driver and your adapter, so we can see that as well down here at the bottom. Look, the change history for my device. You can see that I've had 3 operating system changes. The other thing it's doing is, right from the operating system, it's giving you what network you're on, what adapter you're on, what your signal strength is. It's collecting the scan data so we can actually see all of the neighboring access points. It's what the computer is seeing. It's an outside-in approach, not an inside from the controller approach. And that's what makes a big, big difference. The controller is only as good as what the heck this thing is reporting. And when we get all of that detail from this device, including a Wi-Fi experience metric like throughput, packet loss, latency, and jitter, now we have all of the information we need in order to see what is up with your device in that area at that time, according to your device, your computer. Anything else?
Yeah, a few more, actually.
Right on.
I'm really impressed with this microphone's ability to mitigate, or something is mitigating when I walk in front. That's amazing. Can we test it at home?
Maybe. If you come to our booth, okay, and we can talk about that. All right, and we'll set you up with where you can log into and you can put it on your device. You download it, just like through a little setup wizard, and you can do it. But if you really want to know the score, I just want to give one plug to my buddy. At 5:20 p.m. today, Jim Vada, CWNE number 183, and Russ Wangler are going to be speaking right here, talking more about this product, and it's just really important that you guys all get back here for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything a client that can run on a VoIP phone?
Well, it depends upon the operating system. So right now we are on a ton of Android phones like Zebra and Honeywell and the TC51s and such, and the SpectraLinks, and we are at pickers and scanners all over the world. We're on workstations on wheels, thousands of workstations on wheels in hospitals, and we are just watching them roam all over the place. Okay, and we can actually see every single bit of hysteresis, and we can see all of the action going on, so we can actually see what is going on with your device. Do we need to upgrade it, or do we need to replace it? And gone are the days of, the Wi-Fi sucks, and we're entering a new realm of, no, it's the device that sucks, although we want to be diplomatic, and we don't want to say that to our friends. But with the proof in hand, we actually now have the ability to know the score.
I think you've mentioned a few operating systems that the client can run on. What's the complete list? Like, what is everything?
All right, so right now we operate on Windows as well as Mac OS, and Mac OS is awesome. We get all sorts of rich stuff from Mac OS, like signal-to-noise ratio. We work on Android. The iOS app is lame, and the reason why is because Apple decided that they were going to lock down all sorts of stuff, so it can't run in the background. They don't give you channel or signal strength, but you guys already know that. We're also working on a Linux version. That's going to go on thin clients, because a lot of people are moving towards thin clients, and we're going to watch those guys roam all over the place. Really excited.
Wow, a Linux version. That shows some dedication.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think we got time for this. Any data on OS resource utilization? Do you get any kind of resource utilization back?
So we designed this thing to run as a service in the background, really lightweight. So it's really light on memory, CPU, and battery life. Very, very important, especially to our customers who have these thousands of pickers and scanners that basically have to work on one charge all day. I've done some personal regression testing, and when everything is at 0, I mean, the only thing where I see a little blip in the CPU, and it goes up to like 9 or 10%, is when it does that little throughput test. And remember, it's not like we're flooding the link for 30 seconds, you know, like a speedtest.net, but we're just doing a 5-second test, how many megabits did we pass, and we get a good estimate of what your Wi-Fi experience is. So it's very lightweight. It's not, I mean, it might appear as a top talker, but it's not going to do anything to actually bog down your WAN. Okay?
All right, Eric, thank you so much.
You bet. 5:20 p.m., don't forget.
5:20 p.m., be back here?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.